great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B. Ron. Alongside me is my co-host Yells. We are the number one show here in SimWorld Prep. Don't forget it. Don't forget it.
In the mornings. In the mornings.
Yeah, in
We'll
the
just
morning.
stick
In the
with it. In
morning.
the mornings. We got a
Yeah.
guest with us that may beg to differ, but hey, he's weekly. What can he say?
Yeah. Right. Coach Drayton from Beast of the East. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Doing great. I would say that y'all are in fact the number one show in the morning. If we're talking about the best show during the week, it's OTR.
Hey, to be expected. To be expected. I'm sure. Look. Where? First of all, where are you calling in from this morning?
Well, I'm making my rounds in recruiting, so I'm in a hotel in Kentucky.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh-oh.
Oh, Kentucky. Okay.
He's in Kentucky.
Oh man, that is wonderful, wonderful news, man. So let's get this rolling here, shall we? First question I got for you. I have to ask about, obviously coming in your first season and winning the Race One championship. What was that like? Did you expect that coming in as a coach? And how was that whole process? And what's that feeling like of coming in your first season and getting the job done, basically?
well, I always try and keep things humble and be honest. I did not expect to win the championship at all. And a lot of the time during the season, I often sought after other coaches for advice on how to fine tune things and get the team along the speed on how I wanted to run it. Because
Right.
Coach Vince Johnson, he was doing a great job, and I came and I pretty much dismantled everything that he ran and brought in my own guys to run what I wanted to run. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting a championship, but it is a present. It is a good present to have.
And you and your team, you absolutely when you came in, it was a struggle. Let's be honest. When you first came in, everything didn't look so great immediately, but it looked like maybe you were tinkering and trying to find out the best place to spot people and whatnot. And by the time the race to one started, your guys were really in stride, and it looked like y'all had a lot of cohesion. Y'all were hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Who do you think was like the biggest advocate to kind of help you get get that synergy going during the race to one? Because you had a lot of guys stepping up in different moments.
I don't want to credit one guy because again, I'm all about the team image, but the fact that Isaiah and Leonidas and sometimes Kasim would all be willing to come off the bench and understand that this is a process and I didn't have a perfect formula at first for how to conduct against certain teams and against certain matchups, that the guys knew that hey, as it comes I have to adjust, and sometimes that'll mean somebody like Leonidas will be at power forward during a point in time in the game just because I know that he can beat this power forward, or sometimes he'll be at shooting guard. And when stuff like that happens and people are understanding of the roles that they have to play on the team, it creates a synergy and everybody's out here trying to win.
Leonidas. That was my guy. I like what a name. What a name.
Yeah. We love Leonidas right around here, man. Speaking of Vince Johnson, you mentioned him earlier in my first question, but when you took over for him, did he give you any parting words of advice or anything like that? Because from what we know of Vince, he's always a real stand up kind of guy, but always kind of quiet. So he didn't say a whole lot. But did he have anything for you when you took over for him, and how was that conversation? How did that go?
He kept it quiet and simple. He was kind of like, hey, Fareed is a talent. Don't waste him. And as you guys know, the beginning of me coming in, I'm somebody who believes in feeding the post.
Yeah.
So in my first few runs, I was like, I'm not really worried about a curly head kid who likes to shoot threes.
He came up clutch for you though in moments, so didn't he?
Yeah.
You had a lot of people contributing. Lesser known, you had a lot of guys out there, the KPJs out there. We love Leonidas, Isaiah that you mentioned, obviously Fareed and Levin, who will be returning. Somebody else you have returning who really, man, if let's not forget his big plays alone kind of
Save the
allowed you to
season.
save the season. You know where I'm going. JoJo Big No No Kearney. Man, tell us about this kid that kind of exploded onto the scene and really just got after it defensively.
I think that was the JoJo is like the perfect example of like where me and Coach Johnson had difference with this team because I'm not gonna say that he underutilized him, but he played sparing minutes,
Hmm.
and I always felt like JoJo's probably one of the better paint defenders in all of prep basketball. So a lot of my tinkering with lineups was trying to find a way to make sure I can have him on the court guarding the better bigs of this league. Because SimWorld Prep is the best prep league in the world. And I gotta make sure that my guy can defend the five in the paint perfectly.
Yeah.
2.5 blocks in just under 18 minutes a game. 2.5, yeah. I would say, everybody likes to go by per game numbers. But on the realistic, I'm not pulling out the PER on this, but 2.5 blocks per 18 minutes, that adds up real quick. So, yeah, crazy. What else you got, B-Ron?
So, final question I have is actually about how big of an honor is it for you to now represent the coaches
Yeah.
as the head of the coaches association here in Samoa Prep? Taking over for Myron Murray, who was at Run DMV. He was that first person to be in that spot. Um, Now, you're in that role. What does that mean for you to take that spot now? And where do you kind of, I guess, see yourself going in the future, or or how do you see that position evolving in the future, if at all?
Well, first off, I have to give a big shout out to Myron. I see him as a rival, but he was really a mentor to me the whole season. Before I even got the position, I was in constant talks with Myron. Myron's a great guy. Kind of soft for him to retire on Run DMV.
Yeah.
But as far as the position, the honor is really bestowed upon the coaches as a fraternity because I want to be the type of chairman where people don't have a problem reaching out to me, and I don't have a problem reaching out to them because as coaches, we're a unit. We have to represent not only SimWorld Prep but the players because we're the adults in the situation. As far as changes and stuff that I would want to make, I don't think there's too many changes or too many wild things that I would want to do. I think that everything's lined up perfectly and fair, but I do feel like some coaches might view me as a little brash or a little harder to reach because
Hmm.
I'm from New Jersey. It's a tough exterior kind of thing, but I would just like for all the coaches to know that you can approach me. My DMs are open. If you have any questions or need help with anything, I'm here for you.
Look at that. Even if he's in a hotel where they didn't even want to pay for where they didn't even want to fix the smoke alarm. Even if he's there, he still got y'all back. He's on the road. I got a question for you. You said you're in Kentucky. You want to give up any info there? What you looking at, man? What you looking at? You
I
can
got
keep it
two
on the low.
roster spots open. So if any of you guys in Kentucky think that you're worthy of coming to the B side, just let me know. I have no problem coming to scout players and giving you the brutal, honest truth about your ability.
Yeah. Hey,
Need more of that.
he's in
Need more of
some of
that.
you guys' backyard. I saw that
Yeah.
video you put out the other day. I think it'll probably be making its way circulating. The social media. Very good stuff there. One last legitimate question for you. Ownership with Samantha Starr. We've seen a lot of things going back and forth between coaches and ownership. Them trying to get their footing with ownership and how all of this works. Right. What has your relationship been with the ownership group for Beast of the East?
We haven't had any problems. I'm a straighten up and fly right kind of guy. If she told me that we need to go get two bucket of crawfish and dirty fries, I'm gonna be on the road driving to get the two bucket of dirty crawfish and soggy fries. So
Soggy fries. That's all. That's all I got. I'm definitely done after my man said soggy fries. Me run. You got anything else
put
for Coach Drayton?
put those fries in the air fryer, coach. Put
Run them back.
them in the air fryer. That's all I
Refried
got.
fries. Refried fries on a
Reheat them.
Thursday.
That's the way. I'm telling you,
Jeez.
change your life.
Goodness.
That's all we got, though. Thank you, Coach Drayton, for joining us this morning. We really, really appreciate your time. Good luck on the recruiting trail, and look forward to seeing you guys maybe back in the race to one championship game the upcoming season for a two-peat, perhaps, maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah. Pleasure having you, man.
Was
Anything
a
else for
pleasure
us?
being on, guys. Was a pleasure being on.
All
Thank you
right.
very much,
Best of
Coach.
luck,
Enjoy the rest of your
man.
day.
All right. All right, B Ron.
All right,
I
man.
like that guy. He's all right, man. He's
Yeah, he
okay.
is. He is
He's
all
all
right,
right.
man.
All right, well, let's keep it moving here, man. There's a
Yeah.
lot of talent left. And when I say a lot of talent that is yet to join SimWorld Prep, the question is, will they even be joining SimWorld Prep? And if
Mhm.
so, have any of these coaches, teams reached out to them, players? And how's that going? Can I run down a list?
Of course. Go ahead.
These
Sure.
are some of the notable people that I think we've all talked about, not just myself. We've kind of had these conversations. Is Cooper Flagg coming SimWorld Prep or not? He may came out with a statement. He's one of the hottest commodities. He's like the top guy right now, right?
Right.
Is he joining or not? Then you got Dylan Harper, Arius Bradley, Trey Johnson, VJ Edcomb. These are all the top 5 guys in the recruiting class or in the country,
Yeah.
not in the world, but in the country, according to ESPN. Are they coming to SimWorld Prep? I don't know. Then you move down the road a little bit. Jarrell Bocamp out of where's he out of? Is he out of Nevada? I think he is.
I want to say Nevada. Yeah.
Nevada, yeah, he's out somewhere out from that
Nevada.
area. Nevada, yeah, he's out there. I mean, the dude is a monster. Like he's still on the board. Wondering if anyone's looking at him. Damian Luffy, I know for a fact lots of people have reached out to him, just wondering where he's going to land or if he's even going to play for SimWorld Prep. Caleb Gibson, James Canton. If you remember those crazy highlight dunks we were seeing early in the offseason, some pickup games from him. No relation to the reporter, I believe. Then you got
Right.
Victor
Yeah.
Noggle, Javion Deck, Osvitas Radzavicius, Nakia Deckard, Ethan Alexander, and Bruno John Misty. There's a lot of high-level
Yeah.
talent, and the colleges are looking at these kids. Do you think any of them
Koya
make their
Monroe
way?
out there too, number 2 in Florida.
Yeah, please. Mr. Basketball out in Florida.
Yep.
First question, and you run with this, and I'll stay out of this one because people say I'm on free game.
Yeah. Of course.
Now I'm charging today, so no game from Yells today. Any of these guys, or do you think that any of these kids make their way to SimWorld Prep? Are they not joining for some reason to protect themselves against something? And if so, who's off the board? Who are you shocked by? Just a myriad of questions. So, where do you stand with all this info?
Yeah, no, definitely. So first of all, I feel like a lot of these kids will make their way to SimWorld Prep, and I think that more than we'll find a team maybe later on in the process, because we've still got plenty of time left here. We've got a little bit less than a month left, but there's still enough time for those roster spots to be filled up. Once you get down to those last, 3-4 roster spots, then it gets to the point in time where you decide, where you really want to focus at. Do you try to get one more like big star player in prep basketball, or do you go and try to get a role player?
Be wrong,
perhaps?
be
But
wrong.
all of these kids,
You said over a month. Commitment craze ends on the 21st.
20, yeah, right. Well, yeah,
They got about a
I-
week.
did I correct it? Okay, I did not correct myself. Thank you for the correction there.
They got about a week.
Okay, it's about a week. So pick up the pace, coaches. if you are interested in getting one of the kids that we listed here, you got some time, but not a lot left. Make your move, definitely. I your other questions to me. I was
So who
rambling
are you
and-
surprised that is still there and that has not made their way to SimWorld Prep or on a team?
So two come to mind for me, besides Cooper Flagg, Jarrell Beauchamp, and the number 2 player in Florida, Koya Monroe, Mr. Basketball down in Florida. Anytime you can get that kind of recognition, that honor to be classified as Mr. Basketball in any area, I think that's impressive regardless of where you are. So the fact that he's not on a team yet is very surprising to me.
Yeah, I definitely Jarrell Bocamp, brickbacker out of Oklahoma. His kid's 7 feet tall. He's only 15. He's only 15 years old. You got him, and then Caleb Gibson out of Kentucky. We did just hear somebody. Look, let me shut up. Somebody is in Kentucky right now. That's Mr. Kentucky's, or excuse me, that's Kentucky's Mr. Basketball. 6'3", can go get a bucket, and he can work in the post. He can work from quite a few different areas. So I think that's, yeah, they stand out for me. I guess my last question on that was who do you expect to see on a team in the next coming days from that group?
Cooper Flag.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
wishful thinking. I think that's what we want to see, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. You asked the question. Who I want to see Cooper Flag, Cooper
Yeah.
Flag, and that's it's for two reasons. One, because I want to see a lot of players get humbled. Being honest with you,
Ooh, B-Ron.
I want to see it because it happened last year with Bronny James. So like both Bronny and Bryce for that matter. So I want to see it happen again, and I believe it will happen again. But also number two, I think that because of the kind of talent he is, and because of what SimWorld is trying to build here, having him join just like Bronny, just like Bryce, just like DJ Wagner, McKenzie from last season, all those kids only help to elevate the level of talent that comes in the future for SimWorld Prep. So for those two reasons, I would like to see Cooper Flag join, and maybe he does join with the originators over there in Boston. We'll see.
Sit down. Be humble. Hey, I like it. Sit down. Be humble. Shout out K Dot. Shout out K Dot. B-Ron, what we got up
Yeah.
next?
So up next, man, we there. So I'm sorry, what's his name?
Oh, Lord.
Cole Webb. Cole Webb, man. Sorry,
Hey,
I have a tablet open over here and it just died on me, so I've lost all my notes here. But Cole Webb, he's joined Showtime. Is that going to be a good fit for him? Do you think? Because
absolutely.
like I I don't know why, but I'm still hung up on the fact that he was in a better situation in terms of uh, getting more recognition, that kind of stuff, and getting a lot more of the spotlight on himself and putting Australia on the map for basketball and that kind of stuff, where he was previously with Oceania than Showtime. That's just me. I just the lights and everything. Yeah.
I think for me, look, so this is gonna sound like a backhanded compliment. When I think of California basketball, particularly
Mhm.
Southern California, SoCal basketball, I think of all the flashy, I think of all of the hype, the glitz, I think of all of the pretty moves. I don't think of efficiency. I think of Cole Webb. I think of Nick Moss. I'm gonna tell you, I think it's gonna look good. I think they're gonna do a great job there. When I look at their roster, I see Jarius Bradley who can score. I see Juka G. I see Israel Vines who can score. Brendan Romaine, Mark Chisholm. I see a lot of guys that are not great scorers, but I see two that are really going to try and go get buckets, and I see one that's highly efficient. One being Nick
Yeah.
Moss, and one that's Cole Webb, who can be efficient. As we saw last season, I think all the offense gets to run through him. I don't think they're one dimensional per se, but I think he gets to get his rocks off in a major way. So I think it's made for him. I think he wanted to showcase his talent. He's going to Showtime where he's going to get to showcase, and he gets to show everything he wants to do. So I think
Yeah.
I think it works perfectly for him. 6'4", 208. We'll see what kind of show Coach Joyner wants to run. We had him on. He didn't really speak to what his play style he's going to go for, but I think it's going to work out great for Cole Webb personally.
Okay. And to be fair, I'm not saying he can't do it or whatever. That's not what I'm saying.
You
I just think
just you
that
just turned off. You just put off by it.
yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, I think you're onto something there. I think he'll be fine. It's just a matter of what kind of system they run and how it works out for him and all that stuff. But moving on here, day 4 of the craze is over. So let's kind of quickly go through things that happened yesterday. BJ George returning to Run DMV, as he got cut. He joined the team last season, guy then got cut and ended up somewhere else.
Yeah, got
He
cut
ended up with
again.
Heartland.
I think he was cut a couple of times.
I think you're right. But I think he ultimately ended up in Heartland, if memory serves correct.
Yeah.
Ended up in Heartland, played there, and now back with Run DMV. Olvin Carballo was one of the shocking, more polarizing moves of the day, joining Southeast Select over there. Let's see.
Let's
There's a
see.
few more here. Mitchell Morrison Cole joining the North.
That's a big body, big solid player.
Man,
I'll tell you my few that stood out for me, B
yeah,
Ron. Obviously, you got the VJ George and Olvin Carballo stands out because of particular reasons for both of those guys.
yeah,
But I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna say there's two. Number one, Drake Johnson out of Southeast Select. We just had Coach Drayton on, who's been very high on Drake. He's seen his talent, so have a lot of the other scouts out in the SEC, the SWU. Drake is a baller, and he's headed to Southeast Select. So that is a big-time pickup for them. They look like Southeast Select had kind of been sleeping at the wheel on the recruiting, but apparently not, and they have a lot of talent in their backyard. That's a
yeah,
big-time get. They needed a number one option. They got a number one option. And then let's talk Gotham 5. They have options, but they're known for having quite a few. Kamani
yeah,
Woodbury yanked him right out of
yeah.
Run DMV's backyard as
Man,
Run DMV went after a bunch of other kids. They took the top player out of that Maryland area, Kimani Woodbury. Big time get
the
for
heartbreaker
G5.
as a Maryland person, the heartbreaker.
You lost him, and then
Went to
my
New York, of
woo,
all places.
woo. Hey, and I'm pretty sure Woodbury's gonna make them pay every time that they may see
Hmm.
the Run and Gun Arena. And then the last one that kind of stands out for me, Tommy White. No one seems to know about him. A lot of the recruits, all the scouts have talked about him. I think that kid's out of Alaska, headed to Rain and Trays. So nobody's had a chance to see him, but I think they're going to see now. And if he gets to play opposite a Japhet Towns, where he doesn't get a whole lot of attention,
Right.
if he's what the scouts think he is, that is a huge get for a team that already had a powerful combo in Jason Crosser and most importantly Japhet Towns, despite their losses.
Yeah, I think that you mentioned Tommy White a second ago. I think that you came from Alaska, so like I get it. I get why nobody's was talking about him, that kind of stuff. No one wants to go to Alaska. It's too cold over there, man, for me. But but now look, he's in Seattle with the Raining Trays and all of that. So hopefully he gets to shine over there. We'll looking forward to seeing how he does for sure, man. Final thing of the day, man. Big shot Brandon Smith going to Georgetown, staying local, going to Georgetown, committing over there. I like the move for him, and just want to get your overall thoughts on it. Kind of roll quickly here.
Perfect pickup. That's a Georgetown kind of player. Maybe not the traditional, not a big guy, but clutch. Clutch, a
Yes,
little awkward looking jumper. There's some wonky things about his game. Most people that play for Georgetown, there's something wonky and weird about their game, but they get the job done. He's clutch. I love the move for him. I love the move
yeah.
for his family and for Georgetown.
As someone who appreciates wonky jump shots, Sean Marion's comes to mind immediately for me. I'm really excited to see what Brandon Smith can do and showcase more of his clutch genes at Georgetown this coming season for the Hoyas. Um, with all that being said, I think we are done for the day. I think so, yeah. I
You
did
could
it
be
again,
done.
man. I did
I'm
it
ne-
again. I don't know what's going on, man.
I'm
I
never
don't
done.
know.
I'm never done. Work's always wait. Job's not done yet. Job done? Job's not done yet. That's my Kobe
Job's
phrase. Yeah.
not done, man. Well, look, we appreciate Coach Drayton joining us today for
Yes.
SimWorld today. And
Yes.
thank you all for joining in, listening as well. We appreciate you all. Thank you for coming in every day. We back tomorrow, Friday, last day of the week, last big show of the week. And Yells, you want to do the outro today?
Hey, what do we say? Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. No, that's not the one. My bad. Hey, appreciate y'all for joining. SimWorld continues to grow. We could always use more dedicated coaches. So when you guys know people, hey, this ain't no secret, man. Y'all put the word out. This is the next big thing. SimWorld Prep, SimWorld Sports as a whole. We're going to continue to grow. People want this action. People are looking for something like this. Let them know so they can come join so that they too can see the game, be the game.
See you tomorrow.